Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placement. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Virgo, is the number 9. And it says, the bouquet. Further, it says Queen of Spades. So, below it says, grace, beauty, thoughtful gestures, the power of appreciation, intellectual elegance, and the refined feminine wisdom that brings joy through mindfulness and presence. This is not a card of superficial pettiness. It's a card of meaningful beauty, intentional kindness, and the profound impact of paying attention to what matters. Right, so this is mainly about paying attention and noticing the good things, the beauty of life, the beauty of the world around you, workers. And a moment to express your gratitude, to be appreciative of whatever you have in your life, whatever you are surrounded with. I also feel that this moment you will be able to, I feel that, your sixth house energy of being very meticulous, very observant, being detail oriented. And I feel that energy, this energy is a boost to that, quality of Virgos. That's what the collective Virgos bring to the table. So at this point in time, you do have the ability to recognize the goodness, the beauty of everything around you, the goodness in other people. And also, it's also a good, powerful time to give it back to people, to reflect it back to the world, to people that are around you. That's what the magic of this bouquet energy is. You are the bouquet here, Virgos, because you have the ability to, to bring the best times, moments, situations together, to bring those finest details together. And you offer it to other people, where they can apply, where they can use it, where they can make the most of it. So in this case, you are the bouquet is what I'm picking up. So recognize like your own potential, recognize the goodness and the potential of other people as well. Appreciate your own self, but also appreciate other people and things around you. And when you communicate, your communication with this book energy is more about being very thoughtful. This is also, Virgo, you are ruled by Mercury. So this also speaks to the brilliance of your mind, your intellectual beauty as well. And also because you're an earth sign, very grounded. So there is, some of you could be buying a lot of bouquets, or you could be having that powerful taste, in good things, the finer things in life, whether it's flowers, whether it's, goods, whining and dining tastes, whatever that is. But you have tastes that are very much refined, and I feel that this is also about giving and receiving flowers, gifts. Of course, the holiday season is upon us, so this could be that you're exchanging a lot of gifts and flowers, or people are giving it to you, whatever be the case. But when anybody gives us flowers, it's just a way of appreciating us. And likewise, when we give somebody flowers, we just appreciate for their presence in our lives. And I feel that you're taking the time to appreciate that. So I do feel mindfulness is at the core front of it. And, when we are talking to people, our words, when we speak, when we talk using good words, speak gracefully, act gracefully, that's a gift to the other person in its own way. When we give that care, when we are thoughtful, when we pay attention to what they're saying, when we pay attention to other people, when we're there to support them, and give it with kindness. We offer our services, we offer our thoughts, we offer our, company, being present over there, and also, giving our time, giving our energy. These are the gifts that we, that people recognize us for, that are appreciated by the world. Now, the only caveat that comes with this is that, of course, like Virgos, you have a critical eye. But if you use it in a destructive way, at a just destructive way, I mean that if you are more focused on the wrong things, on the flaws of people, instead of focusing on the beauty, on the goodness, or just waiting for things to be perfect, waiting for people to be perfect, and, not appreciating people until things are perfect, then that's a negative use of this energy. Or if you're using your observational powers to be critical of other people instead of celebrating who they are, then that's the use of negative energy, or that's the use of this negative energy. So, like I said, like this is a moment where you can actually, be more appreciative of me and not criticizing what other people are giving it to you, what other people are offering to you. Don't make anybody feel less than, or their gifts are not good enough, or if, it's like somebody gives you a bouquet and you're just focused on that one flower which is wilted instead of like focusing on the whole beautiful bouquet. So that's a downside of this energy. So basically, this energy is warning you, it's a word of caution, to not focus on the imperfections, because you will miss out a lot if you do that. You will miss out on the good part. You'll miss out on the fun. You'll miss out on the joy of living, and this energy is not about, judging people or making them feel judged. Rather, it's an energy of make them feel that they are good, that they are seen, and you appreciate them. Now, further on here, it says, your eye for detail is a gift when used to recognize beauty. It becomes a curse when used to find fault. Real refinement sees both perfection and beauty in imperfection. So like I said, you are ruled by Mercury. Mercury is like, the ruler of a lot of air signs. So there is a lot of intellect or of clarity. There is a lot of energy of clarity. The clarity that you have to understand what's genuinely beautiful. The clarity with which you can express yourself. The words that you use. And of course, Virgos, you are very detail-oriented. You're able to catch the small, subtle points that people miss. This energy is about seeing the beauty, in difficult situations, seeing the beauty in imperfections. Now, yes, there are clouds over here, but I feel like it's more like, there's a lot of blue energy here. And blue, for me, it kind of connects to the water element, where you are also feeling it, everything that you say, you feel it. So you say what you mean and you mean what you say. And that's when your kind words, your appreciation will actually touch other people, and they will touch their hearts. And I tell you, when you appreciate people, it really impacts them. So be very genuine with your words, with your praises, with your, with your expressions. Because this energy is not just asking you to see things clearly, but it's also asking you to feel genuinely. And then when you say the right words, you're appreciating people for what they do. It's like you're appreciating their gestures, which is very grounded energy. So do everything meaningfully. So, for example, if you are a manager in a team, and then you have been assigned a project, and it's almost there, or maybe you completed a small part of the project. So instead of being mad at the team that they have not completed, or the work is still half done, or this, that, and the third, you can appreciate the people or the team members for what they brought to the project, what they brought to the table. Like somebody must have offered a solution or a tool, or they might be taking down notes, or they might be patiently listening to everybody, or somebody's just working overtime, to complete their task or something like that. And if you have noticed, that people are working hard towards this or bringing in their A game, then, when you recognize their efforts, like, setting a meaningful note, like, oh, I really appreciate and I noticed how you handled the situation and things like that, everybody in the team will feel truly, seen for their contribution. So in that way, you shift the morale of the team, and the people start to, look up to you as a good leader. The productivity increases. They want to work harder. So that's what this bouquet energy here is for you. Like, yes, you are paying attention to them and you're appreciating them because you have paid attention to what they brought to the table. Similarly, you've observed them, and your observation here is a gift for your team because you observe the good points. So that's what this energy is about. Now, you can watch that movie, When Harry Met Sally. I totally love that movie. In that it's, the movie revolves around appreciation of, recognizing people genuinely. And, just, appreciating things what matter beneath the surface of things. It's a great watch. When Harry Met Sally, check that movie out for those of you interested in, learning more about this energy. So I feel that, now if this is not your energy, Virgos, this could be playing out around you, where you're seeing a lot of kindness initiatives take shape, where people are more, there's like something called as appreciation campaigns, which I have heard about, where people are recognizing the small kind gestures of people. You'll see a lot written on the walls, kindness rocks and things like that. So those are initiatives that are part of this bouquet energy. There's also a lot of gratitude movements that are going on these days, where everybody's thankful for where they are, for their experiences, good, bad, and the lessons they learn. There's a lot of there is something called as saying thank you. It's called a thank you culture. And that actually, sometimes when I say that, people say like, oh, you're being a little bit formal and things like that. But I feel that thank you is just a way that I appreciate that people added value to my life. They help me with something. So similarly, you'll find a lot of award ceremonies where people are getting recognized for their efforts, whether it's at workplace, whether it's in the media, maybe it's award for you're attending some award ceremony, you're being recognized, or you're recognizing people. There's also a lot of, maybe some of you are, team leaders and you're being appreciated for that or something like that. Maybe, it's the holiday time. People might be gifting you some cards or things like that, just for, just as a note of appreciation for what you have done for them the entire year. And these things make a huge difference. These are beautiful gestures that make a huge difference. Now, some of you that are, some of you might be in the energy of noticing the beauty a lot. Like maybe the garden that you curated looks more beautiful than you ever recognized before. Or maybe you're visiting places that has a lot of historical beauty, a lot of architectural beauty, and you're really appreciative of that. Maybe some of you are just, appreciating maybe there are some stores that are opening around you, and you're appreciative of what the what would the items that they are stocking in. Maybe you're really appreciative of that, like, oh wow, this is beautiful collection. Or just maybe, a restaurant open and you're very appreciative of the space they have created, the decor, or the designs they have and things like that. So you could be in that appreciative energy of, seeing, oh, how beautiful this community has come up, or, how beautiful this garden is, or park is, or how beautiful these, stores are. They have such beautiful items. Or maybe you're at a farmer's market appreciating their individual craftsmanship, like, oh, how beautiful items you create, this beautiful bouquet and things like that. So who knows, you could be in that energy as well. Now, This energy can also play out in any area of your life, no matter you're in the office, you're in sports, you're in, you're a contractor, a real estate person, wherever this is, this energy could play out for you, where you're recognized for your techniques. You're recognized for your strategies. You're recognized for your power, or recognized for the detail, the precision with which you do things. It could be that, or you're appreciating players like, oh, I appreciate Serena Williams, look at her game strategies and things like that, and how she executes her game plan and things like that. You could be in that energy as well. Or maybe somebody just made you a nice coffee and you're very appreciative of that. And let me tell you that when you do it, people will cherish those words. People will cherish your acknowledgement. People, they will perform better, especially if you're in the office or something, because once you appreciate people, you recognize them. They put in the energy, they perform better, and you create lasting bonds. They trust you. They trust your, your eye for detail. They trust your refined taste. And they know you for a good person, because now you're capable of improving your team spirit, your team morale, and things like that, Now, further down it says, this bouquet is yours to gather and offer. Each moment of recognition is a flower. Each expression of appreciation is a petal. Gather them, offer them. Your gift is not the flowers, it's the attention, it's the care. It's the clear seeing that says, I notice you, I appreciate you, and you matter. Your refined eye is a blessing when used to celebrate. Use it wisely. The next card you have, Virgo, is the card of automation. And it says, you are not seeing that your own habit is making you believe in a robotic way. It further says, this energy represents a part of yourself that run on autopilot, habitual patterns operating without conscious awareness, unconscious systems you've created that no longer serve you. This is not a card of condemnation. It is a card of awakening to what you're doing unconsciously, reclaiming agency, and choosing what deserves your conscious attention. So basically, it's like, becoming a machine. And, sometimes when we're just so used to just doing things all day, all night, whatever, in our lives, in our routines, we kind of stop thinking around, what we're doing. So, it's like whatever habits we have, they become so familiar because they're habits now. They're so familiar to us that we stop seeing what we're doing wrong, what we're doing right. So we kind of sleepwalk through our lives. And this is a wake-up call for you, Virgos. So it's a moment to understand, to see, to recognize what have you automated in your life, your habits, your routines. Are they still working for you? Or are you just doing things because you've always done those things? So this energy is asking you to be more aware, to be more conscious about what you're doing during the day and how you're doing it. This is also a moment where you can, notice your own belief system. Like, what is it, the habits and beliefs that you have chosen for yourself, and which of those you have inherited? Sometimes we just watch our elders do something and we inherit that. So this is a moment for you to sit down and think, like, is this some habit that I have inherited? Is it still working for me? Or am I being left behind because the world is moving forward? So we need to catch up on that. We need to change our habits, our belief system. So this is a moment for you to reflect on that as well. Or if you're spending too much, it's like, are you in a habit of just purchasing things for the heck of it? Or, what are you doing with your spending your money and things like that? So, but it's similarly with when we talk, like, are we saying things just because we have been programmed to say that? Or are you really, present in that moment to, say things that you are saying? Another, when it comes to communication, is like, when we say things, are we saying things deliberately, or it just comes out of your mouth? It's just like, the words just flow out of your mouth. Is it because of that? Even when we make some decisions in our life, in regards to our choices, like, why did I choose this? Why did I choose this dress? Why did I choose this restaurant? Why did I choose this, that, and the third? Whatever it is, are you doing it deliberately, or are you just, just because this is all you're doing it? So this is a moment for you to think about all those things. Because this energy, when we're so automated in our routines, we kind of forget that we're human, you know. So I feel that, if you recognize those patterns and that automation system that you have created in your life, you can tweak that. You can always change things up, be a bit more, like try to get a little bit more spontaneous, do things on the fly sometimes. Also, this is a life that we have to live, not just a life that we need to perfect. So, focus more on the actual living part rather than just, creating perfect systems that paralyze us. Creating habits that are that make us so rigid that, it feels like a prison. So, forget about being perfect or everything needs to be right. Everything needs to be perfectly executed and all of that, that needs to go. So for those of you who have like a set routine, like, you wake up at 5 or 6, whatever, and then at 6 you're out of the bed, and 6:15 you're exercising, and 6:30 you're showering, and then 6:45 you're making your coffee, and 7 you're out the door. This kind of an automation, if that's your routine for the entire day, then when are you going to make time for the small little things, for the small little joys, for the enjoyments and things like that, because you have such a fixed routine that it's not going to allow to make those small changes, to enjoy things, spontaneous things, So I feel that this is more about being very rigid, and I feel that you could introduce a little bit of flexibility in your life, because more so ever the systems, the process, the routine that we create is, something that should be helping us, evolving us, not something that controls us. It's like 6:30 when you go. It sounds like that. Why can't you just sit up till 6:40 or just, watch the sunrise or just do some different kind of exercise? Maybe you're not working out, maybe you're doing yoga or something like that. So when it comes to these routines and automation of systems, ask yourself, like, am I really benefiting from this? Or am I flexible if if I have to make time for something else? Because the goal of life is not really to be, perfectly automated for us, It's this system that we create for ourselves, the process, the routine. It's, it should be a flexible thing. It should not be a rigid thing. Because, when we're not really consciously doing things, when we're so programmed to do it, it kind of becomes a little bit dangerous, because we need to be more present in the moment, need to live life a bit more than being perfect. Now, in today's times, some patterns we have, picked up because of the trends, like we constantly open social media, we're constantly, checking our messages. So we're kind of programmed to do that. We wake up in the morning, the first thing we do is look for our phones, and things like that. So, when we go through these motions in life without being actually present, I feel that it just leads to more sadness. It leads to more burnout, So be very mindful of the choices that you make, especially in terms of work, your entire day, your life, how you lead it, and things like that. So don't automate yourself to the point that you get sick. So be more present, be more attentive, be less robotic, be less automated. So it's a good time to break any habits that are really not working. Be more present in your day-to-day activities. Enjoy, savor the smaller things, savor the small and big things, savor every moment. This totally reminds me of Matrix. It's a beautiful movie, and if you see, it's like a fully automated movie, where people are living in some kind of a simulation. There is lack of consciousness, there's lack of awareness. It's just then, there's a main character in that, Neo, who wakes up to the reality of things, and that's the liberation point. So we'll see the Matrix, who really enjoy learning more about this movie, and maybe, it kind of reflects back on how we're doing life as well. Now, if this is not your energy, it could be the energy of people around you, or you find some incidences happening around you. Like maybe you're seeing, members of your family are just wearing the same clothes like every third day, eating the same kind of food. They're not really mindful of what they're wearing, what they're eating. Or maybe they're just wearing clothes that are so trendy. That's kind of like, I feel, an automated fashion. Like, just because somebody, their icon wears it, they need to wear that same kind of fashion. That's kind of a trend autopilot, I would say, that people are in sometimes. Or maybe you have the same kind of hairstyle for years and years and years. You're just looking the same, That's your automation, your style automated, your style on autopilot, or stagnation, or something like that. Or maybe you're just buying the same branded items, like one brand, and you're loyal. Everything in your house is that same brand. So that's, again, your brand loyalty, I understand, but it's on autopilot right now. That's you. And I remember about Marie Kondo, for those of you who know her. She always spoke about how we need to be conscious about what items we collect, our items in our daily life. And we need to question our choices. We need to question what we buy, what we keep, and things like that. So Marie Kondo is a very strong inspiration of consciousness of our choices. Now, this can be in regards to, the reactions of people that you're seeing. Like maybe you said something and somebody has the same response to your, to your comments. They're always in a certain kind of mode, whether they're angry, whether this, that, and the third. So this could be you, this could be somebody else. I mean, it's energies could play out in, so many ways. So take this as a wake-up call to increase your presence, to increase your engagement with situations and people, and be more authentic with your choices, with what you wear, with what you eat, with what you say, with how you react, and things like that. Be more alive. Don't be a machine, I feel. Because, this is a time, this is a soul system. Of course, we know we are in the solstice gateway right now, where sun is actually reaching its lowest point. And now there will be a return to the highest point. So in the same way, this is like a U-turn. You can just consciously just return back to your waking state. Wake up, choose, be more present, be more aware. Ask the right questions. Like, why am I buying this? Why am I keeping this? Can I change this? And things like that. You have the power, and this more awareness, as more consciousness energy is available to you. So just wake up, Virgos. Next, you have Virgos as the 10 of Swords. So this is air energy. This is the highest rank of the minor arcana, of course. And Swords is the air suit. So further on it says, painful truths, necessary endings, rock bottom clarity, the moment when illusion can no longer survive, and the gift that comes when you finally see what's real. So this is not a card of hopelessness. It's a card of liberation through truth, the end of denial, and the freedom that emerges when you stop pretending and face what actually is. Will it hurt? Of course. Yes, it will hurt, Virgos. But now the illusion is gone. You cannot unsee what you saw. You cannot unknow what you know. And that's the gift of this moment. So seeing the truth, seeing things for what they truly are, might hurt. But then it's liberating at the same time, because now you can, think things through. You can build on truth. You can build on what is real instead of living in denial. And the good thing is that you can make good choices, real choices, instead of pretending. So that's what this is like, it's a moment, a wake-up call again, a moment where you can get up. So basically, whatever you are in denial with, you will see things better now. And what was never real, it's time to let that go. And, when we do that, it's so liberating because we're not pretending anymore. We're facing things, we're facing the truth, and we have courage to do that. And, it will give you a lot of relief because now we're not pretending. Denial is no longer possible. That's the point of the Ten of Swords. It's a turning point for you Virgos, because something is shifting. You stop struggling against what's real. And, the being in denial is a painful process in itself. That's ending over here. So, truth stands gears to truth is right in front of you. It's real, and you can work absolutely with what is real. You cannot work with unreal things. You cannot work with being in denial. You can work with what's real. So, you have the courage to face it. You have the courage to accept the truths, whether it's hard truths about situations, people, the environment, your own self. There are some things that you had, were seeing through rose-tinted glasses or some kind of illusions that you had been, protecting for some time. But now you're able to see things clearly, and there are things that you can change, and there will be some things when you realize that you cannot change. So the acceptance of things, what you cannot change, is also going to be very important at this point in time. So I do feel that, you will there is a new era, which is not era, I would say it's a new phase, it's a new understanding which is emerging for you, which is based on reality and practicality, on the truth of things. And I feel that, when you see the reality of things, it's much easier to, plan further on, what you're going to do next with that information. Of course, when you're aware, we already saw that there is awareness which is being called for you. You need to be more aware, be more conscious with your choices, with your decisions. You might choose to choose differently at this point in time because now you see things, differently. So, yeah, once, maybe you were living in a la-la land or whatever it is. So, it's time to understand that, maybe information was not available and that's why you had that's why you were living in a bubble or in la-la land. And if you felt that, you should not have, then it's a moment to forgive yourself as well, and acknowledge it. It's okay to acknowledge, yeah, because it is hard to acknowledge the truth, but, once we do that, once we accept it, once we see it, it hurts. Yes, it hurts. But once we say to ourselves, once we acknowledge to ourselves, once we recognize it, once we face it, something will, shift inside of us. That pain of being in denial, that ends, and, you're standing on solid ground now. Now, there are negative connotations as well. There's other spectrum about this energy where we become bitter, because either we become kind of cynical about things, about situations, because we've seen, the hard truths, or you kind of get on the other side, like no hope. You become hopeless because now you're seeing things clearly. So, there is a downside to it, but, if we focus on the positive sides, so the positive side of it, that, we can be more discerning. We have the clarity. So instead of being, in an attack mode or a critical mode, we can actually turn things around for us. So don't use these words as a weapon, against people. Don't be so blunt to the point that people think that you're cruel. And there's no need to be even stuck in this energy, right? Because, there is a point where we can, we feel that the ground beneath us was shaky, but this is a moment where you rebuild with in a positive way. So there's nothing about losing hope or being cynical or, just grieving about how things went and just that and the third. So um, don't be cynical again. Like, I feel that the other side of this, of course, for those of you who have a lot of water placements, can, it play out in different ways. Like, you can hurt other people or just be so blunt. Be very harsh with other people, judge them harshly, and things like that. So also, analysis of paralysis, like constantly thinking about, what went wrong? What did I do? This, that, and the third. So there is no need to do that because, the right now for you, this moment is to step up and manage the situation in a constructive way rather than use these words as a weapon or be totally blunt or aggressive about things, there is no need to be bitter about, oh, how I didn't see this, that, and the third. It's hard to deal with these moments. But then, if you keep, constantly thinking, again, Virgo's a mercurial rule. So sometimes these energies keep playing out in our heads so bad that, it's hard for us to plan ahead. It's hard for us to see ahead. It's hard for us to even go through the daily chores or move forward with our lives. So well, just think about how you can reconstruct, how you can rebuild, how you can be more discerning, how you can be, more clear about things, look for truth, have solid foundations and things like that. So now, if this energy is not about you, Virgos, it could be playing out around you where, you're learning about some kind of unhandedness around you. Maybe in your company, or maybe some kind of stories of kind of, leaders being partial or, um, being dishonest with their dealings and things like that. You could be hearing about that as well from your peers, from your neighbors, from your friends, family, whatever that is. And now you're getting more clarity, which is, of course, going to be painful, but this Ten of Swords energy about how, things were unjust, how there was inequality, or how, there was unfair play and things like that. You might be hearing about this energy from people around you as well. And some of you might even find yourself acting on it, like, oh, you know what, this was a situation that I was a part of. It's no longer real. All of those illusions that I had, all those false pretenses are all gone. So there's no point in me staying here. So you might be making a shift as well, maybe changing companies, changing societies, or, making some kind of change because now you learn better, you know better, you have a chance to start fresh, with a lot of honesty, with truth and things like that. Now, for those of you movie buffs, you can watch that beautiful movie that I totally loved. It's called Spotlight, where it's a movie about journalists where they uncover truth. And of course, journalists are supposed to be doing that. But, how the illusions get shattered and how the truth of institution is revealed to the masses, to the public, and how things are shaken up. It's a great watch. So watch the movie Spotlight. It's a great watch for this energy. Now, for some of you, this could be playing out around you where, you're like, oh, you go to a sale, especially it's the holiday time. So a lot of stores might be offering you great deals or discounts. And when you order that item, you're like, when the item arrives, you're like, oh my God, this is not the quality that I paid so much for. So I feel that some of you might be in, kind of, discovering reality about the products, the quality, the pricing points or the brands or things like that. You might be feeling like, this aren't worth it, you had an illusion that this brand would be perfect, but then something's come out wrong with that, or they overcharged you, or the warranty did not, fix something or something like that. Those kind of truths might also be coming to the surface. Now, this can also be, especially, if this is regarding your health, I would say, Virgos, then you need to stop being in denial. That, oh, you know what, it'll just be fine, it'll go away, and things like that. So if you were living under some kind of a denial, just waiting for things to go away or diseases to be fixed on its own, it's time that you actually go visit a doctor, face your fears. And yes, is it uncomfortable? Of course it is. But then your healing can actually start. So if you have been in denial about your health, or your finances or something like that, then stop pretending and actually start acting on it. And the last card for today, Virgos, you have is the Forbidden Forest, and it's number 30. 35. So 35, and it means we're strong with this energy. Further down, it says bravery, persistence, and redemption. So exactly. Now, Gurudhan says this energy is the courage to enter unknown territory, the persistence required to move through darkness toward light, the redemption available when you refuse to give up, and the transformative power of facing what terrifies you. This is not a card of recklessness. It's a card of secret courage, steady determination, and the redemption that comes when you keep moving forward despite fear. The forest looks dark from the outside, but inside there is a path. You can't see it yet. You'll have to trust. You'll have to be brave. You'll have to persist through difficulty. But on the other side, what's waiting for you is the freedom, is redemption. So the transformation that only comes when you have walked through what scared you. You're brave enough for this. You're strong enough to persist. Your redemption is waiting. Further on it says, yes, this is scary. Yes, you cannot see the end. Yes, it would be easier to turn back, but you won't, because you know the redemption on the other side is worth the fear. You're brave enough, you're strong enough, you're persistent enough. Walk through the forest. On the other side is freedom. So, yeah, there is like about facing your fears, exactly. Sometimes it's like the automation, we already saw the automation card, like facing your patterns. Things are changing. There is a shift to the Ten of Swords. There is a transformation. The whole point of this energy is to be committed to that transformation, to keep moving forward no matter how dark the path is or how many obstacles you encounter, because you are strong. And it is normal to feel afraid. But the thing is that, when we're in the thick of it, and we persist, and we still persist, we'll keep going. That's when we get our redemption. So, this darkness, this big, huge oval of dark light, there is stars that are shining in between that. So light is returning, just like our, this winter solstice, the darkest days, that they show, the shorter days, which are more dark, the sun is about to return to light, to the longer days. So it's just that, you gotta stay strong and, just keep walking your path one step at a time. Don't rush into it. Don't be reckless. Just one step at a time, because you're strong and you're strong. You're courageous. So take small baby steps. Now, the other side of this energy is, to be very, the other side of this energy is more about being reckless, I feel. Like, being strong or courageous or brave doesn't mean that you just get into anything and just keep doing it over and over again, just because you think you're brave. So don't be mindless about your efforts or about whatever you're planning to do. Because, it's like, for example, you get into a job or you choose your career or something like that. And, the job that you picked is definitely hard, and it is hard for a bit, but then you just keep working at it for years and years. You're not quitting because, you want to persist, but it's not healthy for you. But you're like, I'm brave, I can keep going. And this leads to health issues or something like that. So, you're just like torturing yourself. So that's not what the point of this energy is. It's like you should not be destroying yourself. I mean, do it in a gentle way. Not not doing things that are harmful to you, that will harm you. So be mindful of that, Don't get into things that are going to harm you just because you want to prove a point or just because you want to prove that you're courageous and brave. This energy is more about, being relentless for noble causes or for genuine things, genuine paths. Maybe it's career choice. Maybe it's your pursuit of a good home in a good neighborhood, or your pursuit of studying something, of college, of universities or jobs, whatever that is. Maybe you're an activist. Maybe you're fighting for a social justice cause or something like that, and you stay committed to that. So that's what this is about. It's about fighting for things that really add value to your life. That's what the commitment should be towards. Now, if this is not your energy, you could be actually mentoring people who need that support from their society, from their community. Some kind of social gatherings where you are mentoring people to be brave, to be courageous, to share their stories, of how they faced their fears, how they, were in uncomfortable situations or places, and how they braved that, how they persisted through it, offering them the support that they need, and things like that. Mentoring people to take brave courses, take brave action, stand brave, and things like that. And a perfect movie for this energy is Into the Wild. It's a great movie. And the character in that is a young man who enters the wild, wilderness. I think his name is Christopher. Can't remember the last name, but Christopher enters this wilderness, and how he persists. He's having a difficult time, but then how he struggles and finds his way to the end. He's an amazing watch. Or, another movie that comes to mind is The Revenant. And Hugh Glass is that in the movie The Revenant, how he persists through hardship, how he survives and how he braves it all, It speaks of determination, speaks of persistence, speaks of hardship, overcoming hardship, speaks of endurance and things like that. So The Revenant is a great watch, and so is Into the Wild. I'll totally recommend you to get a glimpse of this energy. Some of you could actually be watching some content which is enabling you to stand strong and brave. Maybe movies or shows of similar kind. But I hope you're actually not planning some kind of a journey into the forest. If you are, plan carefully. Now some of you could be also, maybe you are jumping into, what do you call, the market situations, I would say. Like you're making a brave dash. Maybe you're a vendor and now you're like, you're coming back stronger after setbacks. Or maybe you're buying properties that are, that need to be restored or preserved or something like that. You're jumping into something, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to build this. I'm going to renovate this. I'm going to take care of this, or, something around neighborhoods or, battle some kind of gangs or gang war, or, take some action against lawlessness or something like that. Maybe you're like, trying to protect the neighborhood or getting into some difficult area or career as well. This could be it for some of you. Now, it doesn't have to be all these big pursuits, brave pursuits. It could be that you're transforming your style. You're used to some kind of dressing. Now you're brave enough to cut your hair a different way or dress in a different way. Or, you don't want to adhere to some company their toxic standards and things like that. You want to just do something different. You know, or maybe you're hearing people make some announcements about this, that, and the third, or, they're advocating about something, or they're making a strong and brave entry into some areas, maybe sports or some kind of training you're getting into that you feel that you're scared about. Maybe you're joining some kind of gym or training or something like that. Or it could be about starting a company or taking on difficult projects. Anything can scare us. It could be anything from small to big and big to small, anything in between. Now, further down it says, your brief persistence brings light into darkness. Your courageous steps illuminate the path for others. Your redemption is not just personal, it's collective. Your brave journey inspires everyone who sees it. Walk bravely, persist patiently, claim your redemption. The forest has an exit and you will reach it. So, read energies here, Virgo. Those were your messages and hope you enjoyed them. So, thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.